Okay, here we go. JDS Sport Talks video. Gonna have two main sort of ideas behind this. EPL and AFL, really the two main stories. There's a few stories in the EPL, not really EPL, just sort of soccer in general. And there's one big story to do with the AFL, and that's the main story for me for today. And it's about very big, I guess. The article says absolutely enormous AFL Grand Final proposal. They're proposing that we push the Grand Final because of coronavirus and because you need a bye normally in the season, push it back from October 31st to November 11th or something. November 1st. I mean, I don't disagree with the pushing back. I would disagree with playing it on a Sunday. It's always been on a Saturday. Why are we changing it from a Saturday to a Sunday? There's no reason to do that. And Grand Final being at night, there's no reason to do Grand Final at night. I don't understand why you would bother doing that. Because then, well, they're supposed to have the after party of the game at bloody 1 in the morning. No, and you can't have all the little kids watching it either if it's at night, because the game finishes at 9 something in the afternoon. All the little kids cannot watch the game and experience the Grand Final, especially if it's their team. Imagine being 4 years of age or 5 years of age and you miss your team watching a Grand Final because that year they decided to be idiots and put it on at night so you couldn't watch it. That would just piss you off. I don't understand why they need to do that. I think it's a waste of time. Something else in this article. Eddie Maguire, the president of Collingwood, has made he's been talking about how amazing it would be to have the Melbourne Cup and something else on the same weekend, make a whole massive public holiday about it or some shit, talking about how it would epitomise how Melbourne is the sporting capital of the world. I beg to differ. But yeah, they would think they're the greatest people in the world over in Victoria. Only reason the AFL Grand Final is in Victoria necessarily is because the AFL is the VFL with the first letter changed. It's still the VFL. Think about it, there's half the league is still the old VFL teams. They've just chucked an A in the front instead of a V. That's all they've really done, and let a few other teams in. But they try and act like they control the whole thing because of that, because they have most clubs. But yeah, they're very biased towards themselves over in Victoria, and that's why everyone else hates them. So to move on from that, I think that's an unneeded. The change of date to later is, yes, probably should have a bye at some stage during the time. Obviously, everything I talk about, there will be the article I'm looking at in the description of the video. You can go look at that and make your own decision on what I'm talking about if you want. Yeah, this is a fairly extensive article, so if you want to read this one, it is quite long. I warn you of that. We're going to move on to the main story in soccer is about Timo Werner moving to Chelsea, not Liverpool, and how Liverpool think they can cope with it. There was two articles here from Liverpool.com. I don't actually believe it's the official Liverpool website. I'm on that right now, and doesn't look. That's not English. Does not look like the official website. But why did you keep doing that? It's having a bit of a spasm for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, they're talking about how the loss of Werner could actually be good for us because it will help us try and not regain, help us push to have more of the younger players in the squad. And getting the younger players, which means, because Timo Werner is 26 or something, I don't know. He's not awfully young. Everything seems to have unloaded, all the articles. Yeah, but so Chelsea snapped him up before we could. We weren't willing to, I believe we just weren't willing to pay the amount of money that Leipzig wanted for him. The deal is not finalised yet, so they might not get him, but it looks like Chelsea are going to get Timo Werner. And, which I obviously I did want him, but I was always worried personally about would he really fit into the style of soccer of Liverpool. I was always worried about that fact. Would he fit into our gameplay? Because the position he would play is obviously where Roberto Firmino is currently playing, and he does not play a very even close to similar role as Timo Werner would if he was in the squad. And I feel like, at least for the first couple of months, we would have a little bit of trouble gelling his style of play into our team. So yeah, I don't know if it's the biggest loss in history, and as these two articles from Liverpool.com say, it will help us. It will help us to get, what's the exact title? That title is to clutch of the next generation of players. Sorry, I'll try that again. Liverpool can use Timo Werner step back to add to Anfield's clutch of next generation talent. That doesn't sound like correct English to me. I'm illiterate. I swear I'm illiterate. Like, that took me 2 attempts to read, and then after that I just couldn't even speak. So in a way I agree with him, but I don't. Like, I guess it could help us grab younger players and prepare more for the future instead of the present, which you need to do when you're in a position where we are, where we're at the top at the moment, and the players are starting to get old, so we need to revitalise that with younger players, so in the future we don't drop back down like we did, and have another 30 years later, being 3 fixtures, which is enough for us to win easily. Like, one of them against Man City, if we beat them, we've won, and if we win the other 3 fixtures, which is enough for us to win easily. Like, one of them against Man City, if we beat them, we've won, and if we win the other 2 games, we've won. So pretty much as long as we don't lose more than 2 games, as long as we don't lose more than 1 game, we've won. And we don't lose to Man City. So I'll try that again. As long as we don't lose more than 1 game in these 3 games that have been fixtured, and we don't lose to Man City, we have won, I believe. I'm proper maths on that. You can do maths on that yourself. For this story, there'll be 3 articles down below: the 2 Liverpool.com ones and the one about Chelsea getting Timo Werner. I won't go through that too much because I don't know the details. Other story is Lallana has, surprisingly for me, I thought he was basically out the door. He is extended his contract with Liverpool. Very short extension, but he's extended it. So I think the extension is just purely so he can play out the rest of the season, because it's been finished late, because he would be reaching the end of his contract now, because that's when the season was supposed to end. That's when he was contracted to. So I assume that's what they're doing here. It's just contracting so he can finish the season with us and then move on. But I don't know for sure, but he has extended it. There'll be surprisingly long article on this. That will be in the description. Not much to really talk about on it. It's just that it's extended his thing. And the last story for the day is the 2 bottom professional leagues. I guess the 2 lowest professional leagues in England, League 1 and League 2, Div 3, Div 4. I have said 5 then, Div 3 and Div 4, have both decided that that's enough. It's done. The season is over for us. There's no need for us to continue anymore. So I believe positions, what the points are, I think it's points per game basis, because there's been teams who have played more than others. So depending on points per game, how many games you played, how many points you've got, is whether you go up or down or you stay. And I believe that means, unfortunately, one of the clubs that I love, I would say I'd support them, but I can't because I support Chelsea. I support Liverpool, but I support AFC Wimbledon. Like, if Liverpool didn't exist, that's who I'd support, but I never say I support them, because, I mean, saying you support 2 teams is like saying it's okay to be racist. It's just stupid. But I can't say I don't support. I reckon I have more of a love for AFC Wimbledon, because I don't know, I like the story. I just like everything about it. There's more feeling there, but Liverpool's Liverpool for me. Like, I've always supported Liverpool, and I can't let go of supporting Liverpool. But yeah, so the bottom 2 professional leagues in England have decided that that's it. That's the end of the season, and end of this episode of Sport Talks. It's been JDS. Thanks. Bye. See you next time. See ya.